Start driving with this guy in the car. Drive.
Oh my god! You probably just ran him over. Oh my god.
If you knew what you were made of, then we would save the world.
So, a YouTube Looksmaxxer attempted murder whilst doing a live stream on Kick tells us a little bit too much about where we are as a society at the end of 2025, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
Now here's the Now this video we're about to watch by a content creator called Maury, who has over 2 million subscribers, surprised me because as I was watching it, I realized he was highly sympathetic towards Clavicular. Now it might be just because they live in the same family of influencers and they don't want to throw each other under the bus, but I think it's more symptomatic of the desensitization and the devaluation of human life. I think in this modern, like I said, voyeuristic world, human life is valued, and it's valued on a tier. We're not valued equally. If someone is doing or behaving a certain way, the value of their life is put very, very low. To a lot of white people, because of the war in the Ukraine, they've only just been introduced to human suffering when it's white people. For we as black people and brown people in the Middle East, more recently in Iraq, we've witnessed our suffering live on TV, unfiltered, uncensored, and that's been taking place for decades now. It's almost an erotic obsession, the way they portray the graphic aftermath of death amongst blacks, Asians, etc. They're quite happy to do it. In fact, as a black person, I would say I am more used to seeing the image of black people in suffering. That is the norm, and the exception is to see just a normal black person. Now this is kind of just spread where people are just used to seeing this suffering, and it's making them far more susceptible and accepting of it.
Start driving with this guy in the car. Drive.
Oh my god! You probably just ran him over. Oh my god.
Yeah, so basically this story is going viral at the moment. Streamer Clavicular, and we've talked about him on this channel before. It's the same guy, 19-year-old guy who smashes his face in with hammers or metal objects to get higher, better cheekbones. Yeah, apparently he just ran over a stream sniper who's been stalking him for months and other streamers, and eventually it got so bad to the point to where this guy got on top of the trunk or the hood of his cyber truck. Mind you, the trunk is in the front of Teslas, right? Anyway, the footage that we all just saw, and I had to censor out the actual part where he gets ran over to comply with YouTube TOS, is the boiling point of months of stalking and irritation, I suppose. Now, in my opinion, Clavicular is likely fucked, because I don't know if you're legally able to run someone over because they've been stalking you and they're irritating you, a nuisance, and they decide to hop on the hood of your car. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, here's the
And you hear what you just said there, and this is what I talk about, the empathy. I don't know if you're legally allowed to run someone over if they've been stalking you. That is, to me, that entire approach to this situation is wild. The fact that anyone would have that, like, can we just agree that irrespective of how maybe annoying someone is being, running them over deliberately, trying to take their life with your vehicle, let's agree that that's wrong, okay? And then we can kind of circle back to the legality of the situation. So the first thing that should be said is running someone over with your car is wrong. I don't know how old this guy Maury is, but he sounds relatively young. But once again, this is the danger of these influences, these people who are barely out of puberty, becoming the voice of normality, becoming the voice of reason. This is the result of it. because they've been getting their moral standards from people who don't have any, and they haven't developed the maturity to really separate. You know, that separation and that real true understanding of right and wrong is something that develops much more as you get older. And I'm not saying teenagers don't have it, but I'm saying it becomes enhanced. You really, if you're a good, I would say if you're a normal human being, you value life far more in your late 20s than maybe you did in your teens or late teens. You know, I think for some people it goes in the opposite direction. Some people are deficient, particularly if you take that kind of like Nick Fuentes white supremacist outlook on life. You develop a lust for seeing the unaliving of people who aren't like you. Then yes, you can go the other extreme. But you know, either which way, let me carry on.
Craziest thing about this story, and this is when he says this, and I think this is what's really gonna f him up in court. Check this out.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Off the car. He was on the phone.
So you can hear his girl crying and, you know, meaning.
Oh my god.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Like, that is a crazy ass statement to make. Is he dead after running him over illegally, brother? And you're like, luckily this is Florida, so Florida is probably going to be the best state to have done something like this in. But again, bro, he's cooked. And for further context, as posted by Clipped Season on Twitter, they say Clavicular was banned on Kick after crashing a Cybertruck attempting to run over a stream sniper. And as you can see here is the blonde guy right here. He's the
So it says they're attempting to run over a stream sniper. So he was, so all we've heard is the sound. We've had stuff blocked out. I'm trying to get that confirmation, because some people are saying the guy died. Some people are saying I don't know. The girl was crying, so it sounded like, I mean, they sounded pretty certain that they had hit him and ran him over, because they were trying to confirm if he was dead or not. So, but this is wild. Just, yeah. Anyway, let me carry on. So these people are protesting him. Check this out.
stream sniper who's been kind of stalking Clavicular, Neon, I think Aiden Ross, and other streamers for months on end. And Clavicular bumped into him and his friends last night holding up some posts, and things went bad.
You see what happened with your buddy Ed Matthews? Come on,
Wow,
release the cookie file. That's all you want to know. Release it.
Tell him about the N-word. He said it today.
Oh yeah, I have to check you.
Yeah.
Why do you think feeling?
They said, tell him about the N-word, you said it today. Now these guys, look, there's no two ways about it. Like, they look annoying to me. I'm not gonna criticize them, because if they're actually taking a stand against something they perceive as being, you know, like, what I don't like is I don't like the normalization, you know, of racism in the current day and age that we live in, and the fact that people are becoming less and less worried and more brazen with their racism and using this freedom of speech excuse. You know, we see it a lot with the Mexican community, okay, in boxing particular, because I'm a combat sports guy, and it's something that's spreading amongst not just the Mexican community but also amongst the Latinos, where they're just coming out and they're just using the M word like it's calm. We're obviously seeing it in the far right. Nick Fuentes, you could say, is part of the Mexican community, but anyway, we're seeing it with them, we're seeing it with, you know, and it's just becoming far more of a blasé thing, this casual racism that takes place. So I'm not going to condemn people for standing up for or against that. Yeah, they clearly have, people are just going to say these people are annoying, but they clearly have some kind of a bee in their bonnet. I don't know what it is, so I don't want to condemn them too much, but my instant view when I saw this was, yeah, they are a bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie, they are a bit annoying. But then again, if you've done things that deserve you to be kind of, you know, protested against and harassed, then don't do them essentially. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with these people here at the moment.
Calling black people the is bad.
You can't say.
How you feel about that? You can't say that, bro. You can't call us. We work hard for our people. We work hard for our moms. Don't call us our niggas. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. Do not touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, so the beef was kicking up there. Okay, and black guy said, don't call us the M word. We work hard. Yeah. Someone should just let them throw hands there. They probably would have just resolved a lot of issues if they could have just thrown a bit of hands there. Lessons could have been learnt, could have moved on. Sometimes that's what men need to do. Let's be honest with you. Sometimes that's how men sometimes need to resolve our differences. But you know, I'm not going to condemn this guy. Stand up to him. I mean, shout out to him for standing on business. Not enough people do. If he feels passionately that he's not going to allow this guy to walk around using casual racism, shout out to him. I don't know if there's more to it than that. He could just be clout chasing. Once again, he could just be clout chasing. I do not know. But this is what I'm reacting to what I'm seeing.
Don't touch me! Why are you touching me for? Don't touch me!
So as you can see, there was an altercation that happened last night prior to Clav or Clavicular running this guy over. I just gotta say, there needs to be better.
So that dude is the same dude who was shouting at him, saying, why'd you use the N-word? So this guy, this is gonna be, you're gonna see there's more footage of him. He seems to be quite a constant presence in the life of Clavicular, for good or for bad. Let's carry on.
Better security for a lot of these streamers to prevent situations like this from boiling to the point to where you're caught up in an attempted murder case potentially.
Better security for streamers. That's a ridiculous statement. If you're streaming to a point where you're big enough to have that kind of impact, and maybe you're saying inflammatory things to get there, then you need to pay for your own security. If you can't afford security, then don't say certain things, because life will write you checks. That's one thing in this world that people do not realize. Life is going to write you checks that you will need to cash. You can't just go around being loose of your tongue, being derogatory about different groups of people, being outspoken. It's like the other guy who got slapped the other day.
You invited him to your fucking club. You gave him a ticket.
Yeah! That was an intentional slap right there.
That won't be the last time he gets slapped, okay? He's got to be put in check. A lot of people, they're realizing that chickens will come home to roost and there's a price to pay. So no, I don't even agree that, you know, streamers, you know, need to get... So who's going to pay for that security? The public? Are we going to pay for your own security? Or shut your mouth, innit? Let's keep it honest, yeah? Shut your mouth or pay for your own security. If you can't handle the kind of attention that you're getting, then stop streaming nonsense, innit? It's just real simple.
Now, the thing that could save Clavicular is the fact that this allegedly happened in Florida. And I believe the governor, DeSantis over there, he passed a law, I believe last year or earlier this year, to where you could legally run protesters over, or people who are like obstructing your car and causing you harm. Like if they're hopping on top of your vehicle, you can.
And this is everything that's wrong with America. Why the hell would you pass a law where it's okay to essentially commit vehicular manslaughter if you feel threatened? This is just a law that you're just desperately asking people to abuse. Basically, run people over in your car and it's okay as long as you can say that. And this is probably why I found some footage the other day of a police officer who basically was harassing some black people, then got in his vehicle after some other people came and kind of like interceded and said just leave them alone, got in his vehicle and literally just beeline straight for the black guy, tried to run him over with his car and then drove off. He did that brazenly. I don't know what's happened with that officer. He probably just carries on working his job. There's probably been no consequences for that. But because they pass laws like this, which they know are going to be abused and which don't need to be there, because probably anybody who has been sent to prison for running someone over on purpose probably deserved it. But this is what white supremacy gets you. It gets you cuckoo land. It gets you to this crazy place where these kind of things happen. And this is where we end up with Trayvon Martin's, you know, stand your ground. Okay, that was a law they put into place because apparently it was so dangerous for people who have guns not being able to stand their ground. And then you have people like George Zimmerman going around hunting young teenage boys, getting away with it, and then having the full backing of a white supremacist system behind them. It's just vile.
You can legally run people over. If you believe, I believe you're in fear of your life, which I'm not gonna lie, sounds good to me. If you're on top of my vehicle, stopping, doing the most crazy shit, unpredictable behavior, and I'm in fear of my life, hey man, I'm pressing the gas regardless of where I'm.
And that's, once again, that's a young person's young mind speaking there, okay? You might find it annoying, someone being on the hood of your car. I don't think that there's an equivalency of that and taking that person's life. I think that's, you're going from a I wouldn't say a minor annoyance, a mid to major annoyance to taking someone's life. There's a myriad, a multitude of steps between that and that. Get out, push them off, punch them in the face. Okay, yeah, maybe that's what someone maybe deserves. Okay, maybe, like you said, other laws, get the law involved, restrain. There's a myriad of steps between ending someone's life. And this is the problem, even with YouTubers like this promoting this kind of message. It's kind of like, hey man, it sounds good to me. If someone got in the hood of my car, I'd love to run them over and kill them. Like, what is that? We're going straight from there to, we're going from 10 to 100. Like, this is not a normal way to talk. It's not a normal way to talk and communicate. It's very symptomatic of very problematic issues that we have in society currently.
I am. It's just, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So shout out to Florida for actually passing a law that is on the side of law-abiding citizens. But I'm not in...
Florida's laws have never been on the side of law-abiding citizens. They've been on the side of psychopaths and racists normally. So just, yeah, anyway.
Entirely sure this law is going to even protect Clavicular because it didn't look like he was in fear of his life. Additionally, earlier that night, Twitter user by the name of Yo6 or No6 said this clip was found in Clavicular's deleted VOD just before the incident. And it says, and I quote, "I want to kill each and every one of these guys," assuming he's talking about those protesters we saw in the last scene.
Bro, the best course of action is just get in your whip and get the f out. Yeah, I know the best course of action, but I want to kill each and every one of these guys. In GTA. No, I want to. Well.
So, you know, I'm not going to lie. Clavicular gives off.
So the guy even tries to help and say in GTA, as in like, don't make a confession like that. You know, that's a premeditated. That makes it a premeditated act that you've committed there. Yeah.
Patrick Bateman, Norman Bates type vibes, you know, American Psycho type shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and he is, that explains a lot of his cold and callous behavior. But even for a person like myself, a regular person,
it's amazing how obsessed red pill incel society is with American Psycho Norman Bates. You know, oh yeah, you are a Sigma, you're a Sigma male. Sigma males sit down and they move through the wind like a ninja. Nobody knows when a Sigma might strike, but when he does, it's lethal. He takes out everybody around him. It's basically a Sigma male just like this guy here, this school pewers who create a dialogue of, you know, who create a comic dialogue in their head of the way their life is unfolding. And then one day they're going to strike. And, you know, every school pupil is the hero of their own story. Yeah. Do you realize they have this story going on in their head? And then one day he put on his dad's fatigues and he armed himself with 16 AR-15s and went to the place that those evil, those who thought he was never going to be anything in life, were sitting. And as they sat, he pulled out his AR-15 and he enacted justice upon those who had brought him such unhappiness.
And if you're being stalked and stream sniped and harassed for months on end, I'm going to show you guys some footage. He actually, I believe, was assaulted by this guy previously. It gets to a point, it really does. And then all of a sudden, one night you're out with your girl or whatever and your friend, and he hops on top of your vehicle trying to harass you. And before that, you guys almost ended up in a fight. I mean, anybody would get pissed off. Bro, road rage literally happens for less. So I'm not trying to justify Clavicular's actions and what he did, because they're...
Road rage is a fight. Yeah, people don't... Road rage isn't getting in your car and attempting to and aiming your vehicle at someone to run them over. So to be clear, yes, road rage does happen for a lot less, and it's heated, and a lot of the time the crimes that take place in road rage are crimes of passion, i.e., you know, it's heated or you feel suddenly unsafe and you have to do something to make yourself feel safe. That's not what we're talking about here. So can we separate the two incidents? Once again, your kind of youthful analysis of what's taking place here isn't helpful, not to your audience, who certainly I'd imagine are quite young.
are better ways of going about this, like getting a restraining order or, you know, handling it through better legal channels. But I understand, like, I'm not justifying it, but I understand. According to this post by Corza, this is the stream sniper who was driven over by Clavicular and has been harassing him and stalking other streamers for months on end now, and even attacked Clav and Neon weeks ago.
So there's the guy. This is him here. The funny thing is he actually looks like a crackhead who we've got in our area, unfortunately. Went to get some food with the kids and the family the other day, and there's this crackhead walking around and he's kicking over bins and stuff like that. He came and asked me for money, so I ain't got no money, man. And as he was walking around, you know, effing, and he said the N-word, and I was like, I wanted to go out and just lay hands on him, but at the same time he's like this tall and he's on crack. And it's like you have to measure up in your head. It's like, oh, I could go out and just beat the crap out of this guy, or at least slap him across his chops. But where is the plus in beating up a crackhead? Do you know what have we come to in life when that's, you know, it's kind of like I just leaving stupid, like he didn't even know what he was saying. He was so out of it. And this dude looks exactly like him. So you look, yeah, I get it. People can be really annoying. People can be really annoying, but this is why you show restraint. Perhaps a 19-year-old version of me would have, in fact, yeah, would have laid the beating of his life on him. But, you know, there you go.
So that's the guy right there. That's the guy who allegedly got ran over last night and killed by Clav on the right. And, bruh, it's crazy. By the way, throwing random unidentifiable liquids on people is assault. And if you do that to somebody, they're legally able to punch you in the face. Just letting you know.
And that's wild. That's wild. You can't throw a drink on someone. So this dude's no doubt an annoying dude. I'll give Clav that. This guy's an annoying dude.
So this just happened weeks ago, and Clav security had to handle this guy. He's a weirdo. He's a cracked out weirdo, bro. Why are you stream sniping people? You're a druggie. You're trying to get clout. You're trying to attack. You literally assaulted him. I don't care. Throwing a liquid. This could have.
But when you get to the stage where you're 20 years old and you're having to walk around with security, this is a choice you've made. This is a lifestyle you've chosen, a choice you've made. And, you know, it's the trade-off. Once again, you know, attention on the one hand, say really extreme things, get the attention I need, walk around with security. Don't say really extreme things, don't get attention, don't need security. You know? But don't put it on people like, oh yeah, there really needs to be more security for streamers. No, there shouldn't be. Because I'm sure streamers who just like don't say inflammatory things don't require it. Simple.
Have been anything. We don't know. You spit on somebody, you throw liquid. Acid attacks happen every day. We don't know. It could have been, you know, urine, right? That's assault, and you deserve to get your ass whooped. So I don't feel sorry for this guy at all. But I'm saying in terms of Clavicular's safety and legal liability, he needs to be careful, man. Because, hey, bro, if this would have been anywhere else, because based off of the footage I saw, the police came and they let him go. They must have identified it as a self-defense situation. Luckily, he's in Florida. Had this happened in the North, Jersey, New York City, he would have been cooked. Let me show you guys this other footage though. So here's another interaction that Clav had with this guy prior to running him over.
I got the biggest clip tonight. Clavicular for me.
Nah, and this guy's a crackhead, man. This guy's mad annoying. This guy's a crackhead. So yeah, it's got it's wild figures as I'm reviewing these bits of footage. I'm getting less and less sympathetic towards this dude, man, because these kind of people are just, yeah, maybe it's my recent interaction with the crackhead at the food joint that's got me feeling like this.
$20 million. I already signed my Kodak Black.
So clearly this guy's on drugs. I'm not gonna lie.
I lost everyone in my head.
Man, clout is a hell of a drug, bro. We are living in strange times indeed.
And it's bad because he's on crack and then he's on meth. So he's just got two crackheads having an interaction.
the biggest clip. Clap. You don't want to do this. Do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Alright, so he's up for it. He's up for the scuffle. He's up for the scraps. He's clearly not. This guy's not a threat to him because he's clearly happy to incite it.
So technically Clav just assaulted him as well by throwing that liquid on him, you know, but given everything we've seen prior.
So then that might have motivated when he did it to him. So there you go. So a bit of handbags at dawn. Either which way, are we at the stage where someone's life needs to be taken? I don't think so. So this is Clavicular on, let's pull up one of the only news articles I could find about this. So it's interesting. I want to know how this is progressing. I'm sure people on X and the social media platforms will know more about this. But this was posted yesterday, Christmas Day, on the dailymail.co.uk. And it says an American streamer has been banned from Kick after apparently running someone over with his car during a broadcast. Footage shared by Clavicular, that's the guy's name obviously, whose real name is Braden, shared on the 24th, Christmas Eve, showed an individual lying in front of the windshield of his car. A person off camera can be heard telling him start driving, after which the driver appears to move forward over the individual. The streamer then said, "Is he dead? Hopefully." Shortly after the footage went around social media, Clavicular's Kick channel became unavailable. In further footage, he was seen speaking to an individual wearing a reflective safety jacket. He was heard claiming that he acted out of self-defense. "You saw that, bro. They were surrounding the car." "Yeah, exactly. I can't see Well, that's why when you're afraid, well, I don't know what's going on." He alleged that people around the vehicle were armed, saying he could see a pistol through clothing. So you can see this is someone who has thought about what they're going to, you know, put out there, and obviously wants to put out an alibi of some sort, you know, some kind of a motive. He can argue for self-defense. He is in America, so anything's possible. It's actually quite possible he'll walk away from this completely unscathed, because we know this is not a nation that, you know, where justice takes place. It's a nation where essentially if you've got the right connections and you've got the right people wanting you to ascend, then essentially you can get away with anything. Epstein. Footage shared by Clavicular, whose real name is Braden, pictured, and so this is the footage anyway, you've just seen it already. So it says, so far the streamer has not issued a public statement on the matter, and no further details have been released regarding the person involved in the incident. Kick has a long reputation of hosting extreme content. Earlier this year, French prosecutors opened an investigation into the Australian streaming platform after an online star died on camera following 10 days of torture and humiliation. The probe will examine whether Kick knowingly broadcast videos of deliberate attacks on personal integrity, Paris prosecutor Laure Becqueux said after the death of Raphael Gravin. The 46-year-old Frenchman had appeared in live shows on a platform in which he was abused or humiliated. Wow, this is wild. In a separate announcement, France's Minister for Digital Affairs, Clara Chapaz, said the government would sue the platform for negligence over its failure to block dangerous content. It comes as the grim studio where live trash streamer Jean Pormaneuve died after being humiliated and tortured live on air for 12 days was revealed. This is all sounding like Black Mirror, isn't it? It's so flipping dystopian how quickly we've progressed into this world where these kinds of things are happening real time, being live streamed. It's kind of sick. Set on an industrial estate nestled between builders, merchants and career firm, the studio where Paul Manove, real name Raphael Gravin, spent most of his life, including his tragic final hours. Slapped, punched, spat on, splattered with water and humiliated, the 46-year-old former soldier met a horrific end as his so-called friends abused him continuously for clicks and money on the streaming platform Kick. What the hell? That is mad. That is mad. I don't know if I should do a separate video about this, because this is Black Mirror happening in real time. Anyway, let's go through. I want to hit on a couple of more videos that I'd seen. Matan Evans show. Who Matan's a troll, by the way. Is this guy over here? He's a major troll. so there's never really a serious interview that takes place. However, there were a couple of points when I think I watched this and I thought, these are borderline, you know, he sounds like he's got racist undertones, and maybe this is what people have picked up on. We could see, it sounded like the people who were protesting against him had said that he'd used the N-word, and I think he does make such an admission on here as well, which is worrying. It's worrying once again that we get to that stage. But let's review this clip here, or this little exchange here, and see if it reveals anything more about this dude's character.
Mog Marlon, even though he's not black.
Is he not black? This is news to me. But no, he definitely mogs me.
He does mog you.
Yes, absolutely.
But you said he might not because he's black. And I don't know. I can't actually get an answer on if he's black. I've seen different readings here.
Well, obviously he's biracial, mixed race.
Is he?
Yeah. But no, he definitely mogs me, yeah. And that was just a joke clip, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So you think it is possible that black people can be objectively good looking?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you just think it's less likely?
Not necessarily, but you know, there's a lot of the ratios that might not favor.
And before he goes into this, it's just, once again, it's just that problematic casual racism there. He's just, oh, it's just a joke. So he's basically said that it's impossible that someone who's black is gonna outmog me, which is their kind of like, that's their ratio, their scoring criteria for this Looksmaxxing thing. I think they call it mogging or whatever. I'm sure I've said that incorrectly. But the point being, he's just brought this casual racial element into discussion. And he's probably done it as a side note, but as a black person, I don't need to hear that. Do you understand what I mean? And so many of you people who are out there who are casually racist against black people, and then when we bring it up and we go, don't talk about black people like that. You go, oh, don't be so sensitive. It was just a joke, man. It was just a joke, man. It's kind of like, well, it's not a joke to us. Like, we're not out here talking about you like that. Do you understand, like, the difference? Like, and you're not out here talking about, it's always black people. Like, we live so rent free in all these people's minds. Like, there's nothing in regards to what he does that requires him speaking about black people individually as a group. There's so many other groups or ethnic groups that surround him, which I'm sure he doesn't give that kind of attention to. So it raises the question, why are we always so important to your discussion? You know, don't try and flip it on us and gaslight black people for then responding and reacting and saying, you know, don't talk about us that way. Oh my god, oh, you're so politically correct. Oh my god, freedom of speech. Oh, you can't say anything as a white person these days. It's like, why do you want to talk about us? Why do you want to use the N-word? Why do you need to immerse yourself in some kind of a black dialogue? Why do we always have to surround the discussions? Why do we need to be in your diction? Why is it so important that you have some kind of view, positive, negative, disparaging, complimentary on black people? How about you just leave us out of the discussion? We don't need to be a part of Looksmaxxing. We don't need to be a part of Red Pill. We don't need to be a part of any of these things, but you're constantly pulling us into your dialogue, and that is where the problem lies. So this is the Aiden Ross stream, and apparently he kind of saw it happen live. So this is kind of like a playback from his stream, and it gives you a good idea of what's going on here.
Cheeser? No.
These live streams are wild as well. If you look how busy the live chat is, like, he's probably got, God only knows how many followers these people have, just like people who are just tuned in to watching them do absolutely nothing. I wouldn't mind borrowing some of them followers. Let's go.
What happened? Wait, shh. What happened?
Try driving with this guy. Drive.
What the fuck?
Oh my fuck.
Yo, Cheeser. Bro, Cheeser.
Wait, is that the guy that's always like following people?
Yes, that followed Sweater to his house. Yo, he said, is he dead? Wait, dude, no.
no.
See, I'm watching this back now. Everyone's laughing. I don't feel like the guy passed away. maybe they could be making more of this just for the publicity once again, and maybe I'm feeding into it. I don't know. This is really kind of bizarre to watch. I don't really know what's taking place here.
He doesn't care. No way, dude. What the fuck?
Because it's very, the reason I'm having this doubt now is because it's extreme levels of sociopathy to be able to, you know, that's crazy levels of psychopathy to be able to do what he's just done and then just drive away casually, wondering if you've killed the guy or not. I don't feel like anyone is that much of a monster. I don't feel like that levels of that kind of like psycho monstrosity exist. So there has to be something more to this.
What is this? Why is the chat saying based? Well, dude, I like
one right now.
Well,
and this is just why I said he's just a school pupil who managed to get followers and discover Looksmaxxing before he found his dad's pew-pews collection. That's all this is.
Dude, I mean, dude, that's self-defense, no?
The guy was jumping all over his car, dude.
Literally, like.
And this is the thing, can you hear all of these young streamers once again running straight to the defense, not looking at the inhumanity of possibly murdering someone? That's I think one of the biggest takeaways I get from this. It's kind of like, where are we right now in society that taking someone's life or potentially taking someone's life is viewed so casually?
Oh jeez.
I don't even like.
Yo, dude.
I mean, I'm sure the guy's good, bro.
Chat, is this the average kick stream?
It's literally just a Cybertruck.
Not cheeser. It's full of titanium. Like,
and the way people are walking past the car as well, nothing seems that drastic. If someone had been murked behind the vehicle right now, everyone would be running in the other direction to see if they're okay. So I don't know, maybe this is something out of nothing. But anyway, look, I just wanted to kind of share with you. I've always thought Clavicular was a bit of a psychopath. I was going to do a video on him, and then this came out, and it's just kind of like, wow, this is almost like, it's almost like a comic book. It's such a caricature of the character that I already thought he was. It's crazy that this has happened in real time. So yeah, let's just see how this unfolds. We'll find out if, you know, if there was a homicide committed, although I don't think it was, and we'll see how the world reacts to this, and maybe if there's some more reflection about the kind of attention we give people who aren't balanced and who aren't deserving of that attention, and whether or not, you know, we start making decisions to close down people like Clavicular's access for his own safety more than anything. Who knows? Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this, and it's giving you a little bit of insight into a very wild situation. Have happy holiday, guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
If you knew what you were made of.